Humanitarian Minister blames AHMED for 206 billion naira budget padding. Lagos State Primary Healthcare discloses its plan to vaccinate over 50,000 children in order to prevent deaths from rotavirus. King Charles holds South African president in first state visit as monarch. And this is the MLC Tv News Hour, reaching you live from the city of LOKOJA, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. A group concerned Nigerians for good conscience has kicked against the appointment of Sani Magaji Tambowa as the clerk of the National Assembly. Tambowa's appointment followed the retirement of Amos Ojo as the clerk of the National Assembly and Bala Yabani, the deputy clerk. The group, which is calling for immediate reversal of the appointment, described it as a travesty of justice and contrary to the letters of NAS service laws. In a statement signed by its national coordinator Simon Baku and the secretary Dr. Roland Oyegun, the group said the rule and tradition were that the highest-ranking staff of NAS would succeed the clerk upon retirement. According to them, they've noted with consternation the appointment of Sani Magaji Tambowa, Secretary of the Directorate of Finance and Accounts, as the new clerk of the National Assembly. The group said that with the retirement of the two most senior staff of the National Assembly, the next in line of succession was Chinedu Akubweze. They called on the chairman of the National Assembly Service Commission to immediately reverse the injustice and allow the rule of the service to guide the succession process. According to them, in a bizarre twist, the National Assembly Service Commission, headed by Ahmed Amshi, went down to number 7th in the line of succession and appointed Tambowa ahead of his superiors. The Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Farouk, has blamed the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, for adding 206 billion naira to the Humanitarian Ministry's budget. Farouk, who appeared before the Senate Committee on Special Duties on Monday to defend the 2023 budget, claimed that the ministry requested some projects for the North-East Development Commission and the National Social Safety Net project in the 2022 budget, which were not released but was surprised to see an inflated amount in the 2023 budget of the ministry. Things went south at the budget defense when one of the committee members, Senator Elisha Abo, APC Adamawa North, asked the minister about the inflated 206 billion naira in the budget. The minister said, yes, they've made mention of the project for 2022 that were not released, and part of it was for the NEDC. Abo, who expressed shock at the minister's revelation, stated that this is serious. They cannot continue to borrow money and plunge the country into debt for the children to come and pay without investing in what they will see. The chairman of the committee, Yusuf, moved a motion to summon the finance minister to explain the 206 billion naira inserted in the budget. This is not the first ministry to accuse the finance minister of inserting money into the budget. On Thursday, the defense minister also told the Senate that Ahmed inserted a total of 11 billion naira into its 2023 budget. The Minister of Health also accused her of budget padding. The Inspector General of Police, Usman ALKALI Baba, has described KOGI State Governor BELLO as a dogged crime fighter who has made the state too hot for criminals to thrive. He said the KOGI governor was one governor that would never raise the alarm of not being in control of security in the state, adding that from what he had observed, the governor leads from the front. The IGP, who spoke during his visit to KOGI State, said he was happy that Governor Bello was playing the role of the real chief executive officer in terms of security. Our reporter Faith Abdul-Ghaffar has more.
The visit of the Inspector General of Police, Usman ALKALI Baba, was the first of its kind since his appointment. KOGI Governor BELLO commended how he's been able to provide all needed support to fight crimes and criminalities in Nigeria.
We in KOGI State, and no doubt Nigerians at large, recognize and appreciate the heightened level of professionalism and gallantry which increasingly characterize the average contact between the officers and Nigerians in these difficult times that we live in. It gives me great pleasure to seize the opportunity of your presence in the state to specially appreciate and commend your men of the KOGI State Police Command, currently under the command of CP Hakim Yusuf our 37th Commissioner of Police in the state. Your men, as well as those of the various security agencies operating in the state, stand day by day and night to secure our lives and properties. We recognize their sacrifices and dedication, and we do owe them a weight of gratitude for their service. Together, they form a formidable wall of defense for my people and the state.
The IG of Police, ALKALI, described Governor Yahya Bello as a dogged fighter who has been committed to fighting insecurity and has reduced the crime rate to the barest minimum.
I didn't come here for a long time because we've been very close and we've been interacting. Abuja is a contiguous state or place for KOGI. We manage crime and criminality between Abuja and KOGI almost every day. And I'm lucky to have His Excellency on this part performing the role of the real executive officer that encompasses everything. I've never heard him crying or saying, I don't have control of the security. I've never heard him. And this is because he is able to galvanize, synergize, collaborate, and cooperate with all his security agencies. Security is always, as it is said, it is everybody's business. Everybody's business. Neighborhood policing, community food, the township, the state, is everybody's business. And when you have a leader who is leading in the front, others will definitely follow. And that is what is happening in KOGI.
He said some crimes recorded in KOGI are not perpetrated in KOGI due to the governor's zero tolerance for crimes.
We know it is a gateway, but many of the crimes that are committed, that are maybe associated to sons and daughters of KOGI, are not even being committed in KOGI because they have no place here, so they need to go out. And that is how it is, and we really have a partner in progress in terms of crime prevention and control, and that is our work, and that is what we are paid for. We know there is room for improvement. We know there is much more to do, but we are somewhere, and that somewhere will lead us to a better place by the grace of God.
Governor Bello said the present administration established a joint task force comprising the police, army, all security agents, as well as the State Vigilante Service and local hunters to work with the government to tackle insecurity.
It is well known that prior to the inception of the current administration, our citizens live in perpetual fear from rampaging insecurity of all kinds, including high rate of terrorism, kidnapping, bank robbery, violent political agitations, pipeline vandalism, herdsmen-farmers conflict, inter- and intra-communal clash, campus and other forms of cultism, amongst others. By the grace of God, over the last 7 years, my administration has done its best to supply both the tools and the allied morals booster that our officers need to excel. Although doing so took a huge toll on our resources. In our first year, we were able to buy and distribute over 200 patrol vans, over 500 motorcycles, and thousands of communication and tactical equipments to the services. We also continue to provide regular maintenance and logistics support. And of course, we intend to continue to improve on that. In addition, we established a joint task force known as Operation Total Freedom.
After which the governor joined the Inspector General of Police with his entourage to commission some projects and flagged off others in Kaba. The IG who first paid homage to the Obaro of Kaba, Oba Solomon Awoni, before the commissioning of projects, appreciated Obaro for his fatherly role and urged the people of Kaba to expose any criminals within and around them.
We know this is a traditional town of history. It is a town of commerce. It is a town where people go about their local businesses with two eyes closed. It is a town where community policing is practiced very effectively. It is a town where people come together to police each other so that they can go about their local businesses. In our own little way, we have added some value to the police formation by making their working environment conducive, and at the same time, we have made their place of abode also conducive. That means we have provided a little accommodation and we have provided a good working place. We are here to commission those places and also lay a foundation down of more facility in the mobile police barrack. You have to be grateful to your peace-loving governor. He has chased all criminals out of KOGI, only that. So we will continue to support him and he will also continue to support us.
Obaro of Kaba assured him of adequate support at all times, welcomed the governor and entourage to his palace.
It is assured that the synergy between the governor and the IG will bring us to the promised land of general security in Kogi State. I want to especially commend the IG for the newly approved divisional police office at Ejuku, Yaba East. This is a welcome development and local people are very appreciative of it. The IG, sir, kindly permit me to likewise request that a divisional police station be established in Bunu land. Since none is in existence there now, this will perfect the security arrangement of the Kaba Bunu local government. It must interest you to note that there is a gaping need for more staffing for all police formations in the 5 local government areas of Bunu land. Kindly help to address it expeditiously, sir. As a measure of passionate appreciation of the IG for all his efforts and citing numerous momentum projects in Kaba, the Kaba community has unanimously asked me to name the longest road in the town, that is from this Palm Hotel to the permanent site of mobile police units, formerly known and called Kaba. Okene Road is now to be known, called and addressed as Alhaji Usman ALKALI Baba Expressway Kaba. This is just a modicum of our appreciation for the IG's good gestures in Kaba.
The IG said it is his desire to create a conducive environment for his men and as well provide for the community adequate policing of the area. The projects commissioned include a division model police station, an administrative complex for the number 70 squadron for the police mobile force, and the groundbreaking for the permanent site of Mopo 70. Khadijat Mohammed, reporting for MLC TV.
The second edition of KOGI Bridal Show is meant to attract all business owners and event planners in the state. The show, which is on the display at the KFAS Hall, attracted patronage. The bridal show is geared towards bringing vendors of diverse products together. At the launching of the second edition, business moguls were present to share their wealth of experience with young business owners. Our reporter has more. It was a display of different segments of traits and professionalism in what can be best described as a show of creativity and talent. From the media gadgets to the fabrics, pieces of jewelry and beverages or coffee stands were well decorated with beautiful ornaments. This year's event was witnessed by owners of businesses and experts who shared their knowledge with young entrepreneurs. The business moguls took turns educating them on how to manage and grow their businesses to enviable heights.
First of all, have that idea. By the time you have that idea, you now put that idea into reality. And in that way, you will go places. And secondly, you have to be patient. It takes a long while to build a business. You don't have to start a business this year and expect to make it immediately. Gradually, you will get to the point.
Okay, there's this perception people have about Kogi State being a civil service state, and there's not a lot of money and people don't buy. I like to say that's a wrong perception. You can be innovative. So one of our core values in my business is being innovative. There are different ways you can actually sell your product to people that you think don't have money, but actually just ensuring that you provide the right kind of service. So make sure your product is good, make sure your customer experience is very top notch, and ensure that you keep marketing. A lot of people don't market. They feel marketing is a waste of money. So I feel that anywhere you are, because people travel to Tinapa from Abuja to go for people's businesses. So no matter where you are, as long as you can actually put a marketing budget, 10% of your revenue to market back to customers, you're going to grow.
I keep telling people that LOKOJA, let me speak about LOKOJA. LOKOJA is a virginal land. It's like a virgin land, okay? So you have so much opportunities to actually break even in a society like LOKOJA, rather than in more civilized or in more open places where you have bigger competitors. So if you want to start your businesses, if you want to start very small, this is the place to do it.
The organizer and the CEO of 276 Events, Damilola Bako, said the idea behind the KOGI Bridal Show was to bring spotlights to the vendors in the state, for them to come together under one roof to interact and make sales while still showcasing their products to people.
In a span of 1 year, we discovered, when we did our research and findings, we discovered that in a span of 1 year, KOGI events have come on the map of North Central events. People are beginning to do less of other states and more of us in the states. There are a whole lot of things we're enjoying in KOGI State right now in terms of the vendor patronage, and it has been a massive one so far. Visibility, collaboration, brands are beginning to collaborate with more. Brands are beginning to have a lot more patronage, and the revenue is beginning to increase as we go on.
Damilola also expressed satisfaction with the reaction of people in terms of patronage.
Gathering those crowds has nothing to do with my skill or ability to put people together. It was something that it was a vision that I was able to sell out to people. And like minds will always attract each other. These are people who are of like minds. And when I sold the vision to people, they bought into it. And that's the reason why there was no marketing, no networking, nothing. It was just selling the vision to people who were hungry about showcasing and being visible to the KOGI, to the North Central and the world at large. And they all are gathered here today.
The organizer further said the event was not proposed to the state government for sponsorship because they wanted to create value and standards that would call the attention of well-to-do individuals and the government.
But we're looking forward to them getting to us to help us build a bigger platform. We are hoping to build value so that they can see that this industry is one industry that can help raise the revenue. In Lagos, the event industry as at 2004 or 5, if my statistics are right, the event industry was ranking top 5 revenues to the state government. Now, if an industry could be that big, it could be even more for us here. We've seen it happen in other states, so we're glad if the government can identify with us. We do not want to go bare to the government without showing them the value we have. So we are creating this platform to show the people of KOGI State and even the government, His Excellency, and so many other people that we have what it takes to add value to the state. And if they find it interesting enough or useful enough to the revenue of the state, they can therefore be part of us to help us grow better.
Panelists from the business class also spoke about the impact of the event on business owners and the state generally.
It's refreshing, educating, enlightening, and mind-opening. I came with my diary and I wrote a lot, so I've learned a lot. It's shifting me from the particular level that I am to a higher level. It makes me know how to do business more. It makes me know that I can expand. It makes me know that by this time next year, having implemented all that I've learned, I will be 10 times better than where I am.
And the experiences of the audience, it's an exciting one. I want to be part of this another time.
Some of the vendors also shared their experiences from the bridal show.
I got to meet a lot of people, and lots of people tried my products and they enjoy it.
So will you say it has made up? No, aside the visibility now, more awareness, yeah. We should create more awareness because I don't think a lot of people really knew something like this, and it's a big one, you know. It's a big one for the state. So,
in the past few years, I've been overtaxed. I pay so many tax without knowing the difference. Now I know that if I pay for withholding tax, I don't have to pay other taxes like consumer tax and so forth. And I know that local government have no right to ask me for tax apart from the signboard fees. So I learned that today.
We have a good number of vendors here, but I want to believe that this is not the total number of vendors that we have in Kogi. Considering the population of Kogi State being 5 million, vendors should be at least 1% of it, right? So we don't have all the numbers here, but it has been very encouraging having people come around to represent vendors in Kogi and all under one roof.
Anyway, I kind of just stumbled into this. I didn't know about it. My friend just told me this afternoon, and I said, okay, fine. On entering inside, my first impression was like, I didn't know something they could pull this off in LOKOJA, in Kogi State. So I'm actually impressed. It's a good one. You know, we can take it, you know, up from here, but it's a good start. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. I'm seeing lots of vendors, people I didn't know were running businesses in Kogi State. I'm seeing them here, and it's a good one.
Awards and certificates were also presented to the guest panelists. Matthias Ayodeji Peter reporting for MLC TV. The Lagos State Primary Healthcare Board has disclosed its plan to vaccinate over 50,000 children in order to prevent death from rotavirus disease annually across the state. The Director of Health Education and Health Promotion Services, Clara Owojuyigbe, said this according to a statement on Monday during a forum held in Alausa, Ikeja. Owojuyigbe, who was represented by an assistant director of the board, Oluwatoyin Finin, noted that the vaccine would be given orally to all infants at the age of 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks old. She said the introduction of rotavirus vaccination is aimed at averting over 50,000 children's deaths from the disease annually. A principal medical officer representing the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, Abuja, Dr. BELLO Bakunawa, said the various stakeholders at the sensitization meeting were important to the initiatives since they represented various communities in Lagos State that will need to be carried along in the rotavirus vaccination program. Lagos State Commissioner for Agriculture Abisola Olusanya has assured residents that the forthcoming 2022 Lagos Food Festival would serve as a platform for business people, especially food producers. Olusanya gave the assurance during a stakeholders engagement held on Victoria Island. She said the festival scheduled to hold on December 11 is an avenue for fun lovers to meet different people, as well as a platform for various business people, especially food producers, food processors, and food lovers to interact. It will also serve as an avenue for participants to showcase their products and talents, particularly those in the food sector. The 2022 festival will be a bit different from others as it will focus on different African delicacies in line with its theme. The Vice President, Culinary Arts Professional Association of Nigeria, Bolabo Adebaki, commended the state government for its provision of a sense of belonging and a business-friendly environment for those in the profession. And now on politics, Okene Kogi Central has rallied within the metropolis of Okene in their thousands to support the All Progressive Congress presidential candidates and running mate Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima. The crowd was led by the State Accountant General Momo Jibri and Local Government Auditor General Usman Ododo. The leaders said their mandate is not just to deliver the party, but to ensure Kogi Central continues to record dividends of democracy as benefits when Bola Tinubu is elected the President of the Republic of Nigeria. They called on all people of Kogi Central who are aged 18 and above to ensure that they guide their PVC well to cast their votes, saying there lies the power to fix the next president. The campaign, cut across Kogi Central, has continued to witness massive support from the indigenes who are determined to let APC continue the government. The impeached Speaker of the Ekiti State House of Assembly, Gboyega Aribisogun, has called on prominent indigenes of the state to intervene in the crisis rocking the state legislative house. Aribisogun, at a press conference in Abuja on Monday, particularly urged legal luminaries from the state to rise up and stop the political crisis in Ekiti over what he called external interference in the election of the Speaker of the Assembly. It was gathered that 17 out of 25 members of the Assembly on Monday impeached Aribisogun and elected Oluwemi Adeluba as the new Speaker. The Assembly complex had been sealed off as members were embroiled in a controversy following the death of the former Speaker Fumini Afuye. Aribisogun, who succeeded Afuye as Speaker last week, alleged that some individuals in Ekiti who were not happy with his election into the office were after him. The embattled Speaker also called on the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, to intervene in the matter, alleging that some forces were going after the 15 lawmakers loyal to him. The new Speaker, who spoke at the All Progressive Congress State Secretariat in Ado Ekiti shortly after she was elected and inaugurated at the plenary, said reasons for Aribisogun's removal included sabotage of the Supplementary Appropriation Bill before the Assembly. If you are just joining us, it's still MLC TV News Hour. We'll be right back after the short break.
Get human interest stories right here on MLC TV with entertainment, sports, business, culture, tourism, and fashion news stories all featured on MLC TV. Not forgetting political and current affairs news, state and federal government and people's matters will be discussed regularly on MLC TV. MLC TV, your one-stop online destination for unbiased, accurate news, entrepreneur ideas, and youth matters to the rest of the world. MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone.
Welcome back. On foreign, the King of England will host his first state visit as monarch later as he welcomes the South African president to the UK. King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort, will host a banquet for President Cyril Ramaphosa at Buckingham Palace as part of the two-day trip. Ramaphosa is also set to address politicians in the joint sitting of both houses of parliament. It is the first state visit to the UK in more than 3 years after they were stopped during the COVID pandemic. The Prince and Princess of Wales will first greet the South African president at his London hotel and escort him to Osgard Parade for the ceremonial welcome with the King. His Majesty will then ride down the mall with Ramaphosa in a carriage procession to Buckingham Palace. There, the King will host the President at a private lunch and show him an exhibition of royal collection items relating to South Africa. Ramaphosa, who has been head of the government in South Africa since 2018, will follow the tradition of laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown warrior in Westminster Abbey and then address MPs and peers in the Royal Gallery of the Palace of Westminster. Later, the King will host a glittering white-tie banquet at Buckingham Palace for President Ramaphosa, where both men will give speeches. The visit follows the traditional format put in place during the reign of the late Queen Elizabeth II. The EU and Serbia have warned that violence could erupt in Kosovo after EU-mediated talks failed to resolve a dispute over Serbian car number plates. The Kosovan Authority wants the ethnic Serbs minority to surrender their Serbian-issued plates. Serbia does not recognize Kosovan independence. Kosovo police plans to issue fines of €150 to holders of Serbian-issued plates. The US wants that move delayed and has urged concessions to maintain peace. Kosovo argues that license plates predating the territory's 1999 war for independence from Serbia can no longer be valid. It says the 50,000 Serbs in northern Kosovo who only accept local Serb institutions must now use Kosovo plate issued by Pristina. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell said many hours of talks had failed to resolve the long-running dispute. Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić said the situation is literally on the verge of conflict. He too has urged Kosovo's special police not to attempt to enforce the fines. Ethnic Serb police officers resigned en masse earlier this month in protest at Pristinia's number plate rolling. Vučić now speaking after talks on the dispute with Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti in Brussels. Later, Kurti blamed the EU for the talks' failure, and Burrell said the Kosovo leader had rejected an EU compromise proposal, though Serbia had accepted it. Vučić said Serbia would stop issuing and renewing its own car number plates for the Serbs in northern Kosovo. U.S. State Department spokesman Ned Price said both sides will need to make concessions to ensure that they do not jeopardize decades of hard-won peace in an already fragile region. And now on sports, let's join Jonah Malik.
And on sports update, heavyweight boxer Dillian Whyte is determined to settle scores with Anthony Joshua and is willing to take a pay cut to fight the ex-heavyweight champion. A rematch between the British rival who first fought in the amateur back in 2009 has been proposed for early 2023. Revenge has been on Whyte's mind ever since he lost their professional domestic bout 7 years ago, so much so that he would excuse his usual demands to get his hands on the British Nigerian. Whyte told DAZN, "I will fight Joshua tomorrow. I will fight him for less money. Whenever me and him fight, sparks flies. We just want to beat each other up." Whyte doesn't see his rivalry with the former two-time unified heavyweight champion ever dying, as he offered to make the fight even when old. Before Whyte can think of levering a series with Anthony Joshua, he must first get through a tricky match with Jermaine Franklin next weekend. Still on sports, England on Monday thrashed Iran 6 goals to 2 to get their 2022 World Cup campaign off to a bright start at the Khalifa International Stadium in Doha, Qatar. Gareth Southgate's youthful side took the lead through a header from Jude Bellingham before Bukayo Saka and Raheem Sterling scored later in the first half in a dominant display. Jack Grealish and Marcus Rashford, joined by Bukayo Saka, doubled the scoreline in the second half of the game to secure all 3 points for their side. The second match of the day saw the Netherlands on Monday bagged all 3 points as they defeated Senegal 2 goals to nothing in the ongoing 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. Cody Gakpo, in a brilliant run, got behind the Senegal defense to connect with a De Jong cross in the 84th minute of the game in Netherlands' first attempt on target. Netherlands doubled their scoreline in the 99th minute of extra time with a brilliant strike from Davy Klaassen. The last match of the day, Bale's penalty earned Wales a point against wasteful US. Gareth Bale praised Wales' reaction to a poor first-half performance after his team salvaged a 1-1 draw with the USA on Monday in their first World Cup match in 64 years. The Americans deservedly led at the breakthrough team Wales could finish, but Wales could again rely on Bale to ride to the rescue as he won and converted the penalty to level with 8 minutes left. The Americans deservedly led at the breakthrough team's Wales could finish, but Wales could again rely on Gareth Bale to ride to the rescue as he won and converted a penalty to level with 8 minutes left in the game. And that's sports update on MLC TV News. I am Malik Jonah reporting. Back to our caster for more stories.
And now on entertainment. Ara, the drummer, said she had to learn how to drum herself. Aralola Olumuyiwa, who is commonly known by her stage name Ara, revealed this information in an interview about her career on Channels TV. She said she had to learn how to play the drums on her own by watching the men perform, adding that they refused to teach her. She also mentioned that in order to improve her craft and broaden her artistic horizons, she had to listen to a variety of sounds performed by seasoned Nigerian musicians. With a career spanning over 2 decades, Ara is a female singer, entertainer, talking drummer, and the cultural ambassador of the Oni of Ife. She is the foremost female drummer in Africa. Still on our entertainment news from Africa, DJ Somebody, a well-known South African music producer and the creator of well-known Amapiano sound, has passed away. According to numerous reports, unidentified shooters approached DJ Somebody and his group's car on Woodmead Road and fired a barrage of shots into it. The disc jockey and one of his bodyguards were struck by the bullet and died instantaneously, while the third person, said to be one of DJ Somebody's bodyguards, has survived and is now in a critical condition. The police in Gauteng confirmed the attack and said they are looking for suspects and looking into the circumstances surrounding a gunshot in Woodmead. It has not yet been confirmed why DJ Somebody and his group were the target of a horrific attack. And that's the size of our package today. Join us tomorrow at the same hour to watch our news as we give you updates on happenings within and across the globe. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, MLC TV, like and follow our Facebook page, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, Twitter at MLC TV 1. For your event coverage, information, contribution, adverts and sponsorship, please call any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join us Friday and Saturday to watch our special programs. It's MLC TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. I am Matthias Ayodeji Peter. Please continue to be a brother's keeper to build a united and peaceful society together. Thanks for watching.